Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, guys. You've got your boys, Bert and Lanny over here, your favorite dividend investing channel here on YouTube. That's right. Your boys are back in town talking to you about another high flying, wheeling, dealing, girl stealing, woo, dividend stock here to possibly buy for your stock portfolio.
Smash that subscribe button, everybody. Give this video a thumbs up. I really have nothing more to say here. Let's get to 20,000. We want to talk about some yield, some cold hard cash in the form of dividends getting delivered to your brokerage. That's what it's all about here on Your Boys YouTube channel. So subscribe and join as we have Robert De Niro as our guest today.
Yeah. I was going to say, guys, how's the De Niro face? Let us know in the comments below, please. But yeah, guys, we're going to talk about a stock that a lot of dividend investors do love. I mean, you hear it on X or FKA Twitter. Um, you hear a lot about this stock. You hear a lot about it in the comments as well. We get a lot of messages about doing a stock analysis on this because it is yielding over 8+% right now. So definitely one of the high yield stocks, one that, I'm always concerned with from a yield standpoint. But we're going into the tobacco industry today. We're talking about our good friends over at British American Tobacco. The ticker symbol for this stock is BTI. Bert, they've got a bunch of brands. They've got obviously their vapor, their tobacco heating products that are kind of in this new category. I've never really heard of them, but Vuse, Glow, and Velo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't vape, so I'm not in that sector. But hey,
Hey, if you guys know these brands and you see them on the street, let us know in the comments just so we can get an idea if these are really popular out there.
yeah, but the other brands outside of the vaping world, Grizzly, Lucky Strike, Pall Mall, Camel, Newport, so some much more notoriety in the regular tobacco brand, at least from our perspective. So,
How much Grizz did we see in our public accounting days?
a lot of grizz, not from us, it was surrounding us. That was the big point. But in all seriousness, it's worth talking about tobacco because it is a sin stock. So when times are great, people are buying their products. When times are bad, people are still buying their products. That's the big lure to this sector. That's why people like Philip Morris, Altria, and British American Tobacco.
And what better way to talk about British tobacco when Altria goes and increases that dividend yet again by the tune of 4%. And it's quite funny because after that increase, I'm pretty sure Altria now yields higher than British tobacco right now.
Oh man, the battle between the two. So what are we going to do here today? How are we going to look at British tobacco? What are we going to run them through?
We're going to run through the brick wall.
Maybe. No, we're not. We're going to run through our stock screener, which focuses on three simple metrics and a bonus metric. PE ratio less than the S&P 500, payout ratio less than 60%, history of increasing dividends, and that dividend yield. And of course, we're going to throw some nice earnings metrics at your way too, so that we're not just showing what it is, but we're going to give a little bit of analysis about what's going on with the company's financials.
Oh, that's right, Bird. That's right, guys. Thanks for hanging with us as we talk about this 8.5% plus yielding dividend stock, guys. So British American Tobacco, they just released their first half earnings, right, Bert?
Yes, they did. And well, it weren't bad. Revenue was up 4.4%. The big one were the revenue in the new category. So in the vaping, the tobacco heating, and the modern oral tobacco, all the new stuff. What you want to see in the sector, you see Altria pushing towards this way. You see Philip Morris going this way, British American. You want to see growth right here in this part of the earnings release. And boy, did British Tobacco deliver. Oh my God, did British American Tobacco deliver? They were up 26.6% in this new category. So that is huge.
Yeah, the new categories again, which we just talked about, was that heating tobacco, the vapor and the oral tobacco products. So being up almost 27%, which they have a goal to reach 5 billion in revenue by 2025. And they're actually from management's discussions, obviously through their I guess you call it first half, revenue and earnings release, that they're well ahead of schedule, about a full year plus ahead of schedule right now with quite a few billion of revenue already from these new categories.
Well, when revenue's up 26.6%, that helps get you there a little bit faster. If you can keep that compounding, that's what we're talking about. That's how you feed the earnings release right there, and you feed the
Feed
man.
the horse, feed the horse.
Yeah, so that's obviously huge too. So let's see, Landy, you want to check them out? Should we run them through our stock screener?
Let's run them through, guys. Again, this is British American Tobacco BTI stock prices as of August 25th. Recording this here on August 27th. Dang it, Bert. No Miller Lite tonight, huh?
No, no Miller Lite tonight. I had a few too many yesterday, so I'm taking it easy and just drinking some water. But story for a different day. Yeah, no Miller Lite, just water here. Their price was 32.65. Earnings per share is $4 per share. The PE ratio is 8.16. So very cheap compared to the S&P
Yeah,
500.
very cheap. And the earnings per share just went on a few websites to try to find what they estimate, but just because they're an international based company. Yes, yes, not one of my favorites to do, but we still do them, obviously. But yeah, low PE ratio. But let's get into the safety of the dividend with the dividend payout ratio. They pay with currency conversion about 70 cents per share per quarter. Let us know in the comments if that sounds about right as well, with what you're estimating their quarterly dividend is. So about $2.80 per year. Taking that over to $4 is about 70%.
Let's talk about dividend growth while we're already talking about things that are fun for you to do. It's very hard to figure out a consistent dividend increase for tobacco. I'm say the results are and A, but it's just I'll give it the standard. You see it going up here, so it's trending.
Yeah,
It's
and
not.
they used to do like a semi-annual dividend and then recently converted to a quarterly dividend, so that always makes it even better.
Yeah. So we all right. So let's look at that yield here. Their yield is now 8.58%. So pretty juicy.
Yeah, juicy
Pretty.
yield, guys. Obviously, the S&P 500 yields about 1.6, 1.7%, but you're buying tobacco because it's a higher risk. The management's goals are to return as much back to shareholders. Typically not, it's almost like a utility stock where you're not really going to be a big mover or shaker. But they do have some new technologies, right, with the vapor and the heatless tobacco. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's you price in risk. That's, I think, what it is. You get the higher yield, the higher risk. They pay out a large chunk of earnings. It makes perfect sense compared to their 5-year average yield, too. That's another big sign of undervaluation flashing here. Remember, the current yield's 8.58%. Their 5-year average yield is 7.5%. So higher yield above that 5-year average means the stock could potentially be undervalued.
definitely paying a premium. And as interest rates have gone up, the stock price has kept going down, guys. So 32.65, a very low price. I know a lot of people have been gobbling up shares of BTI. Obviously, if you're dividend reinvesting your dividends right now, you're grabbing shares this low, adding an over 8.5% income to your total there. BTI, I own Philip Morris in my portfolio, Bert. I'm pretty sure you own a good chunk of Philip Morris as well. You know, if you don't have tobacco, you might want to consider buying Altria, BTI, and Philip Morris if you really wanted to. Um, Simply because I own Philip Morris, and the high yield for BTI doesn't even scare me. It's probably more on just currency translation and what the future really dividend growth holds. I'm going to stay on the sidelines for now. If they happen to drop into the 30 or below range, I might start a position. What
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stay on the sidelines. It's never been my favorite sector after I bought that initial stake in Philip Morris. I've never felt the desire to buy more tobacco. And so that's a bad company. If you do want the yield, there are a lot of people that want the high yield and they have no problem buying sin stocks. So British tobacco is one to consider. The metrics would warrant you considering them if that's a sector you want to invest in.
Guys, what about you? Are you actually the ones that own British American Tobacco BTI? Let us know in the comments because I think there are a lot of BTI investors out there. How long have you held them? What are you doing with the dividend? And are you buying down or averaging down your cost basis now that it's in the $32 to $33 range? Let us know in those comments below.
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Give this video a big old fashioned. There it is. That's the nice thumbs up here. And Lanny, what do we have to tell the peeps? I think we're missing something.
Well, you listen up, brothers. If you're not down with the dividend diplomats, actually, we've got two words for you. Joking, guys. But no, definitely you're either with us or you're against us. That was Bert and Lanny from the DD. Over and out.